Aloha, aloha, guys. Yes, it's Aloha Friday. And yes, there is work between now and Monday, but we could deal with that. Actually, tomorrow I will be at the Mid Autumn Festival in Chinatown. And also, I will hopefully get a lot of good video for you guys because these events I always enjoy. But aloha, aloha. Hope you guys have had a good week. We've had a lot going on. I just gave the dogs a treat, but someone does not want it. They want to just sit here and cause trouble instead. So, but anyhow, I'm trying, first of all, just to let y'all know, and I'm probably going to say this a couple more times. I am trying out Restream. So you're going to see a little, you may see some differences. For example, oh, in fact, this one is not mirrored. Okay, so up in that corner today, you'll see the watermark for Restream. I've used StreamYard forever, but they are going to be raising their rates. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure about that. So I thought I had heard about Restream from a few people, so I thought I'd try it out. So I would love it if those of you guys who are here regularly can give me some feedback. Do you like this? What's the quality like? All those fun things. But in the meantime, I got to figure out how to use this backstage, and that's not easy. But it does show me chats, and I can say hi. I can say hi. Let's see. Okay, it does go in this direction. Awesome. We've got Thea right here. Aloha, aloha, my dear. How you doing? And in fact, I was going to actually, the two of you who are in chat right now, you and Cluck Cluck Chicken Lady, I was going to actually contact both of you guys about this with Restream. So I've used, I've used StreamYard for as long as I can remember when I started my whole channel. But they do some amazing stuff. They're up to 1080p now. Okay, all that. But of money when you're talking a couple $100. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of money. So, but hello, hello, hello. Hope you both are doing real, real good. And oh, oh, I know you're telling Thea this, but blueberries, I love. Oh, I don't know about you guys. What I love to do with blueberries is I'll get frozen blueberries. I'll throw them in a cup and I will just pop frozen blueberries. Strawberries also. I like frozen strawberries too. But frozen blueberries are just heavenly. And we got KK in the house. How you doing, my dear? It does take a little longer for it to get the messages. I hit the button and it takes like a little extra half second for your messages to pop up on chat. I'm noticing that, but yes. But oh yeah, good old blueberries. Is it blueberry season? Sorry, I honestly don't know. I live in an area that doesn't have blueberries. I mean, we have dragon fruit, we have mango, we got papaya, we got you name it, we got all these others, but no blueberries. Yeah, life sucks. So anyhow, I do want to pretty quickly here at the front, and then we'll kind of go back to talking as people come in. I do want to bring something up because I need to connect with a lot of you guys on the mainland right now. This is me from Oahu asking for help from those of you guys on the mainland. We've been following the case of Mischa Johnson for the last, oh gosh, we're into the 2-month time zone now. And oh, you love mango, Thea? I love mango, and I do have to say this: mango here in Hawaii, so different from mango on the mainland. You guys get the Mexican mangoes, night and day. They're night and day. I mean, the mangoes here are just, oh, whenever I've got a tree behind our house and I can't reach the majority of them because the tree's so tall, but the ones that are either low enough or the ones that drop to the ground and don't get cracked open and all that, it's so much, oh, they're so good. Ooh, Chicken Lady makes chocolate blueberry. Oh my gosh. I got to get that recipe. I got to try that. I wonder if I probably could do that. I have one of those creamies. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're these little ice cream makers, and it's by Ninja Creamy. And you just pour your liquid into a little container and you freeze the liquid. And then you put it in with the grinder and you grind it up. And oh, it's, and I wonder, I bet you I could make that. Okay, I got to try that. I got to try that for sure. So But in the meantime, let me pull this up real quickly. We are still looking. We've been talking about Misha now for a while, and I need the help of people from the mainland right now. Okay, let me switch these two sides real quickly for you guys. Okay, here we are. Misha has still not been found. Misha is still out there. Um, Update on her case in general, and we are going to watch a short video about it also. But police CID have told her family that basically, with what they found in the house evidence wise, there is really no way that she's still with us. You hate putting it that way, but they've been told this is what you need to be preparing for. That both Misha and baby Armani lost. Okay, their fight. Okay, against a monster who decided to take their lives. And the person who allegedly did that is currently in the brig. Well, is it called the brig? Well, in their jail. CID is looking into it. They're still going after things. The problem is this: he has shut down completely. Okay, he is not talking to people. He's not talking to the CID. He doesn't care about telling anyone what he knows about this case. In the meantime, no one knows where Misha is. Um, there's a pretty good thought right now that the time frame, it's kind of like, and we are going to talk about it later. Today's actually, I'm going to say this real quickly. Today's the 3-year anniversary for Ariel's being reported missing. Ariel's case is very much on one level like that, in that she was reported missing much later than she was probably killed. Ariel was probably killed, okay, a couple months before, well, a month or so before. She was killed, okay, earlier, but they set up and they tried to hide everything. Okay, Sunny Lehua, okay, Sunny Halua actually went and called in sick, saying, "Oh, I got COVID and all." And they used that time to hide all their evidence. They're in jail right now. We're still waiting on trial. 3 years later, but today is the day 3 years ago, 2021, September 13th. Those two people called up 911 and reported Ariel missing. They said she disappeared overnight. We're going to talk about this at the end of this live today, because she stays on this wall because she needs people speaking for her in the same way Misha needs someone to speak for her now. Misha has family and friends who are not going to shut up. They are going to be out there looking every day for her. But where we need your guys' help is this vehicle that you see right there. Hey, Mama Jane, how you doing, my dear? Love you. You're late, but that's fine. You're just on Oahu, okay? Local time only. And Kathleen, how you doing, Kathleen? And also, I am getting used to this, okay? I'm trying Restream for those of you who are popping in a little later here, so a little new for me. But we know, even though, okay, he reported, okay, her missing on the date he did, she probably went missing somewhere around July 17, 18, 19, even though he reported her missing weeks later. So where I need your guys' help is this. He was driving around trying to get rid of evidence, most likely, trying to get rid of her remains, and we don't know where that has happened. We know he was talking to a bunch of people. In fact, during these times, from the time she went missing, where no one has heard from her since, he was sitting there in dating apps and on Instagram talking to girls, and he was doing all that stuff during that time. So there's a lot of people who spoke with him during this time period. And we need those people to, first of all, contact the police, contact CID, because he may have told you something during this discussion. And now, where we need the tourists is for the vehicle. Let me ask you guys in chat right now. How many of you guys have ever been to Oahu? Um, and if you were here, did you go by and see the Dole Cannery? Okay, not the cannery, but the Dole plantations. The cannery is actually in town. The plantation is out on the west side. And I'm going to pull up the map of all that, but I really want to focus right now on these pictures here. Chicken Lady, do you keep Diora? See, and that's it. You have to keep looking until these cases are solved, and Diora's is one of them. Okay, they're out there every day. There is not justice. Okay. And even when there is justice for Ariel, we still need to change the system. There's still issues with the system that need changed. And so she most likely being in Schofield, and I'll pull the maps up in a second so we can kind of go through the maps and all. Um, Trying to figure out where he could have gotten rid of any evidence. Well, as you're going to see through some of these videos and the maps, this area is just full of cane fields as far as you can see. Okay, pineapple fields, mostly cane though. Okay, sugar cane. Okay, that used to be all that. Now it's being, well, sugar cane was kind of gotten rid of, but it's just between pineapples and other things, it's just huge. Okay, plants up as tall as you, things like that. So what we need is to find out who saw this vehicle. This vehicle, this red Mustang that we have shared multiple times out on maps, there is rumors that it was seen, okay, between the dates of July 17, 18, and 19 along the road that is near the Dole plantation. Now, what's important with tourists is this is the main road, people. And as soon as I pull this up, you'll be able to see it. This is where, when a tourist decides to go on a circle of the island, this is where they go. If they're going to the North Shore, 9 times out of 10, they go right by the Dole plantation. So someone during those days may have actually been driving and all of a sudden looked out, because I, even to this day, I look out over and I'm like, oh, do I see any pineapple? Okay, where are they in the planting process and stuff like that? It's really beautiful out there. And, but did you see this vehicle? If you did, we need someone to contact, because they're out every day. In fact, there's a meeting tonight where we're all coming together. Okay, her family, friends, and all are coming together and putting together the plans moving forward for searches, because searches are happening every single day. Coordinated, happening more often, more and more and more often. But there's people going out on their own on a daily basis. Chicken Lady, you've never been to Hawaii. Do y'all have many scavenger animals? Yes, depending on the location. Um, if you're going up into the mountains and all, we have wild pigs, things like that. Out in the cane fields, you would probably not be talking about large animals. It'd be more on the smaller side, more on the side of maybe rats, things on that level. A lot of bug life, a lot of bug life. In fact, cane fields have tons of, we call them cane spiders. They are, ooh, I don't like them at all. They scare the hell out of me. But yeah, we do. So what I want to do, I'm going to switch us over real quickly, and I'm going to keep coming back to this vehicle, but I want to switch us over to a video that just came out, News Nation just did, and talked with her family and all. But after that, I had Jen Coffindoffer come out and talk about the situation, what it's like, because CID is the one in the lead in this case. Okay, answering a couple different questions on that level. So let me real quickly pull that up. Let's see. Here we go. And we're just going to watch a portion of this. But please, in fact, I'm going to share in chat right now. If you have time, please go watch the full video later, because there's the interviews with her family and all really kind of share with you, okay, what is making everyone tick? What is making everyone push and keep going for who Mischa is and was, the memories that she has left everyone with and all. So here we go. Let's get going on real quickly. Yeah, we do not have buzzards and stuff like that, but yeah, that's a good point. That really is a good point. Um, as soon as this is done, I'm gonna pull up the map so you can kind of see the area we're talking about. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't also wooded areas. Some of the areas being searched through are wooded areas where we would have, for example, the boars, the wild pigs, and things like that. Hey, Sleuth Mom, how you doing, my dear? And also, that'll kind of give you some idea there as we go through that. So let me come back to this real quick. Okay, here we go. Please let me know if you can't hear. Oh, well, no, you can't hear because it's not up, is it? One second, let me hide that. Okay, one second. Like I told you, I'm using something new. So we've got fun with that. Okay, here we go. Hey, B Tim, how you doing? And one second, let me get back to this 944 so I get the right. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm trying Restream, which is a new system for me. And it's fun. It's driving me crazy. Okay, now I can share the right thing and we can get going. Will do. See you in a second, Mama Jane. Okay, share the screen so we can get this. Chicken Lady, I was wondering when you get to Sleuth Mom. In fact, I was going to say something to you. Sleuth needs to name a chick for sure. I'm so happy. Yes. Okay, here we go. Missing Mom. Okay, here we go. So, going to start this over again. Hopefully, let me make sure it is. No, it's not showing. Why is this not showing? Sorry, guys. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. So, let's see. There we go. That would help, I bet. Okay, here we go. There, now we're set. Hopefully this works. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear this as soon as I start playing.
Contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer is with us now. Jennifer, I know you have read into this case. One of the big questions I have right off the bat is how an investigation like this unfolds when you have a branch of the military, a military member involved, and now facing some charges within his immediate unit, and local law enforcement. How do the two walk alongside one another to get to the answers?
Well, the Uniform Code of Military Justice is what is going to govern this case, Marnie. And that is because you have a military individual and you have a crime scene, apparently, that is actually located on this military base. For that reason, this is a federal matter and investigated by the Army Criminal Investigative Division.
And how are those cases handled, Jennifer? Because we're used to
I'm going to stop right there. One of the things we're going to follow up right after this is we're really starting to have a lot of DV issues out here within our military. It's always been there. I don't have much of an update on the second case that I mentioned about, what was it, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But we are going to kind of review that case real quickly also, just to give you guys an idea.
To cases that play out within local police departments in terms of evidence and prosecutors and clues that lead us one way and another in an investigation. Because this is within the military, is it more private? Is it harder to get that information?
It is much more private, Marnie. It's very much within their own unit and within the military that this is going to be adjudicated, that it's going to be investigated. I'm glad to see, though, that they did come out, that special agent in charge, and talk about the case because like him, it is crucial that the public be able to help provide clues as to where the whereabouts of that red Mustang that he owned was in that time frame.
Right.
And that's why I really wanted to, this is why we're talking about this right here, so we can get this out there, that red Mustang. Okay, most likely, if anyone saw that red Mustang, it was a tourist. It was someone who was driving on their way up there. So that's why this becomes so important. And again, what they're talking about with the military, the family is still very, very happy with what CID is doing and researching and getting into that. What the family is now stepping up with is, we got to find her. So coordinating extra search efforts and things like that, and trying to get the word out to the mainland, because I'll be honest, yes, military, one thing I've noticed that they've done really good is reporting within like the Stars and Stripes or military websites, newspapers, things like that. Because in all honesty, if say he was a gamer, for example, he most likely could have been talking to other military people who lived in different areas. We know that he was talking to people on Instagram, on dating sites and stuff after the date she went missing. So there are people out there, and that's what they're trying to, yes, CID and all can look into the computers and all that, but the family's trying to help get the word out there so people can call up and give additional clues and stuff like that. That Mustang is very recognizable. Usually, I'll be honest, a Mustang like that, if I see that on the island, 9 times out of 10, I know it's a military person, to be honest. Okay, it's one of the first things I would think about, military. And it's extremely recognizable. Okay, now, so everyone does know, because it's a little confusing in what they say here. The vehicle itself is currently with CID. The vehicle is not missing. What we're trying to do is find, though, where it was during this one time period. So when they talk about the vehicle being missing, it is not missing. It's actually in custody now. It's just we're trying to find where it was during this period that is quote unquote missing, if that makes sense. That's what's being discussed.
So Dwayne Johnson's red Mustang is missing. It's really like looking for a needle in a haystack. And Jennifer, as we speak, there are search teams in Oahu that are looking for that Mustang and any other clues. In fact, we spoke to a searcher just a little while ago.
It's definitely a needle in the haystack. And I say this because they're looking at that Dole plantation, which is 12,000 acres, Marnie. And this is vegetation, these pineapple trees. I know you've probably seen photos, Marnie. It's unbelievable how difficult it would be to conduct this search. So it's very difficult.
Let's listen to that searcher now. And also it gives us a glimpse into the tough terrain, Jennifer, that you're talking about.
How can you not?
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there so you can kind of get an idea of what it's like along that road area. And first of all, I just saw a question from Chicken Lady, GPS on it. I don't think so. I haven't heard of any GPS. That's been part of the problem, is we can't track it. And where if you were in town, you'd have a lot of traffic cameras. That area of the island does not have a lot of traffic cams. Okay, as you can see from here, it's 2-lane road. Okay, it's just honestly, that area is just mile after mile of driving with nothing but on the left side and the right side farmland. And just in the same way, the farmland on the mainland can become problematic for searching because, yeah, you heard how much space it's, and that's just the Dole plantation. There's multiple other farmlands around it also. And hello, Seal. How you doing, my dear? And welcome back, Mama Jane. So you're going to see them as they're walking. And first, I do want to say it's been hot outside. These people, I give them huge props for being out there every single day. They're out there searching. We've got people who are working, and then as soon as they're done with work, they're jumping in their car with their drones, because honestly, the drones are going to be key here. Because if you can look from above, the problem is so much has probably grown over at this point that without going on foot, it's going to be hard to, it's not like just 2 weeks later where you would have been able to see something. And
not feel touched to come and search, you know? So for us, it's just like one of, you know, when one person needs help, like we all got to come together and help.
So that gives you an idea right there what it's like. Really overgrown, very overgrown. Okay, when you get to the actual pineapples don't grow on trees. A lot of people think they do, they don't. It's a plant. And it's a shorter type plant that comes up, and then you get the pineapple right in the center of it. So a little bit different than what people think when you hear, oh, a pineapple plantation. No, it's not a place full of trees or anything. Okay, they're huge, they're plants. Okay, and you got a lot of other overgrowth and things like that going on also.
So as we look at this video, it is a really dense area, probably easy to hide any evidence in this case. But the other thing that they have working for them is these folks know the area, right? They're familiar with this type of terrain.
Yes, absolutely. Most of them are indigenous to Hawaii. They grew up in that area, as we can see by the photographic evidence here. And Marnie, I think the other thing they have going for them is the fact that they are conducting these searches in a grid type fashion.
Okay, that area you're looking at right there is actually, I think that's probably at the first part, a little closer to the Schofield area, where you got a combination of farmland and wooded area. You got a little combination of both of those there. And it's amazing. One thing I can tell you about the island is we have so many different varied types of land. The area, okay, on the east side is built on swampland. You get out to the west side and you've got all this farmland. Then you've got mountains over here and with steep drop-offs and things that people are looking at. It's just a lot of different areas.
They're doing.
That's why finding out who saw this red Mustang is so important. Even if you think you were a tourist and you were driving this road and you think you saw one, okay, one red Mustang sitting there, please call.
Doing it very organized. They're keeping track of what's been searched and what hasn't. And that's always a positive. What they have working against them also, though, Marnie, is wildlife.
So you've got military police, but can local law enforcement assist in that grid search? Can they offer resources and support if necessary?
Absolutely. They can definitely work hand in hand. It really just depends on the relationship that those different entities, local, state, and those federal authorities have. But typically when it comes to these search parties, the more the merrier. CID is going to want to invite as many people as possible to put eyes on this 12,000 acres and look for her.
Jennifer, as we just indicated in the piece, the family thought they knew Mischa's husband. It was somebody that they trusted, and now he is facing some charges connected to her disappearance. And at one point, that trust starts to unravel, and the case takes some really tragic twists. And we start to hear more about rumblings of domestic violence, potentially between the couple and even on the military base. We talked to a woman who lives on the base. She's been there 10 years and said what she has seen is domestic violence getting worse. Here's what she shared.
Do you think that things are getting worse?
Yes, I do. I never heard about this level of domestic violence and homicide as we have since we've been stationed here.
This is troubling for investigators on the base as they try to understand what happened to Mischa. Does it also complicate the investigation and how much and which direction they go and what they're able and willing to share?
Well, it does complicate everything from the standpoint of you don't have any witnesses that are really there saying there were major issues. You don't have family coming out, but domestic violence can be really a silent killer. You know, everybody says what happens behind closed doors, no one really knows. And this was an example of that. But Marnie, the charges they have him held on are extreme.
Let's stop there. We're going to go over the article about this other woman who her husband was arrested, Kaneohe Bay. He was a Marine. Just weeks after all this. Okay, she turns up dead, and police end up arresting her husband. They live on base, Kaneohe Bay, and He's right now on the brig down on Fort Island, and it's just more and more. We're starting to see DV happens everywhere, gang. It happens everywhere. But in the military, we're starting to see it increasing and increasing. It's a combination of people who have seen, war, they've seen, violence, as well as, I will be honest, a lot of times people, and my dad was military, and he was a wonderful, wonderful man, but not all people are that way. I know there's a lot of people, if they're having problems with behavior issues as they're in high school, what do? They sign up in the military when they're old enough because they need that type of structure. But the problem is the structure isn't there for them when they get home. And that's when you start seeing a combination of the stressors of regular life, combined with what's going on at work, and just regular behaviors. 2 women dying out of due to DV in the course of 2 months on one island, not acceptable, and we need to figure something out soon. And
not the false statements and the obstruction, but they got him with child porn. And not only did they charge possession, they charged distribution, Marnie. That's a 20-year violation. I'm sure they discovered it when they looked at his phone to figure out where he was.
Right. So the charges he's now facing, by the way, he was arrested and is in custody. The charges are providing false official statements, obstruction of justice, and then, Jennifer, the one you bring up, production and distribution of child pornography. They also say more charges are coming. And I want to get to that heartbreak.
And gang, they found a lot of this stuff out because when they pulled his phone, and they found out, she's been missing since mid to early July, and he's now talking to young girls on the phone on dating programs. He's talking to girls, that are underage on Instagram. So then they take that next step and they find out that he does have he's distributing this stuff. It gives me nightmares thinking about what was going on behind closed doors here. Here we have a young 19-year-old who's 6 months pregnant. And it's just,
Breaking soundbite from Mischa's mother talking about the evidence found in the couple's home, leading her to believe that no one could have made it out of that home alive. It is so devastating to hear that mother's pain. We don't know what that evidence is, but based on what she has shared, where does that lead you investigatively?
Well, it leads me to believe that the luminol tests that were conducted in that scene show a horrific profile, if you will, of blood, likely. And that profile or imaging that is created from the luminol, they can probably see that something horrific happened. And that's, I believe, what is leading her to say no one could survive that.
I think that's...
As you read this case, what else stands out to you? Questions that you and others are asking about where the investigation goes?
Well, I think anytime you have a victim like this, she's what we call a low-risk victim. She's pregnant. She stays at home. She's close to her family. She runs in circles that are very close and very tight. And so they're going to be looking, of course, in that direction. And what did they find? They found likely, anyway, a direction pointing at her husband. And this is very troubling, of course, anytime we have a domestic violence incident. But again, it's what sadly has become expected when you have somebody in a low-risk circle of friends, including their husbands.
Right. And
Astro, it's a good question. Astro is asking about were any of the things he's distributing perhaps connected to her. We don't know. I suspect those are things that we're going to find out more as this goes to trial. I will say this, though, it's a military trial. This is not going to be, I don't think this is going to be something we're going to be able to, watch on YouTube, and stream it. I don't think we're going to be able to get in that level. But I'm sure the truth is going to come out over time. Okay, was she part of that? Was it other people he was connecting with? Okay, a lot of different possibilities there.
And then the other layer to this horrible layer is that she was 6 months pregnant. I mean, she was on the cusp of becoming a new mother, something that she was so excited about, and now the potential that a second life may have been lost.
Absolutely, Marnie. And according to statistics, homicide is actually one of the leading causes of pregnant women in our country. And this is just another example. Marnie, I was also going to point out that thankfully there is a lot of footage apparently that law enforcement has been able to find at stores. And they did find footage regarding purchasing of cleaning products and tools. I think that's also helping them in their investigation. They're really using these building blocks, but they really need to find Mischa.
Yeah, that's where the public comes in, seeing this story, sharing it on your social media pages as they.
I'm going to stop that one right there. But like they're saying there, this is where we need the help from people. Okay, those of you with channels, I'll put out, okay, the picture that I shared with the car and all that on it. This is where YouTube, social media can help out, gang. Okay, not all the drama, bull crap and stuff like that. Someone out there spoke with this guy. Someone out there may have been one of any of the people we talk to in chats. There might be someone that we literally talk to in chat and we type to them in chat. And we find out, oh, they were in Hawaii earlier this year. Maybe they actually saw something. This is why we need the help of people. So if you guys can, once I share that out, please help take a screenshot of it, share it, whatever you need to do. It's just we need to get this out to people. It's the one thing when I talk to their family, they say is we need people to know that we're looking for this information. Okay, it's really important at this point that we get that. And so I am going to, let me do this real quickly, pull up the map so you guys can get a better idea of the area itself, especially if you happen to know someone who was driving out to that area. It gives you exactly where you're going to be going at that point. Where did my Google Earth go? Great. Where's Google Earth? Okay. Oh, that's what happened. It changed channels. Now, 1 second, guys. Sorry. Just pull this. Okay. Okay, here we go. Google Earth. Here we go. So, and we are going to cover a couple other cases, but I really wanted to get this out quick. There's also a couple other cases that we really need help from people on. Let me see if I can get this back up. Okay, there. Okay, sorry, I have a lot of areas tagged here, so I had to get the right one. So for anyone who's visited the island, here's Oahu. Okay, the area, as we've been talking about, where Schofield is right in this area. Honolulu itself is down further here. In fact, Pearl Harbor's right here at the bottom. So let me make sure that you guys, actually, I'm going to switch this out so you guys got a bigger picture of that there. So the area they're looking for is anyone who saw him and that car along this road here. Okay, specifically the first half of this. Now, when I tell people this is the way anyone who's going around the island is going to go, it's because you leave from Waikiki down here and you come up here, you go around the island here and you come back down through here, or vice versa. And one of the biggest tourist spots on that whole trip is right here, the Dole Plantation. This is where everyone stops because they can get their Dole Whip, they can take a break, stretch their legs, things like that. There is a, let me pull up a maze here, the Dole Plantation maze. It's educational. They show you how they, grow all the pineapple and stuff like that. All sorts of different things here. This is the area. Halemanu is the area they're really focused on. Okay, this whole road right here. As you can see, it's just open area. You come here, you turn right here, and you get onto this area. Let me see if we can get down to it. Yep, we can. Perfect. Just to give you guys an idea from the ground what we're talking about. This is the road, okay? As far as you can see, nothing but grass and plants, okay? As far as you can see. As you go further, you've got some gullies and stuff like that, but this is the area we're talking about. Okay, this stuff is literally as tall as you in areas. But this is where we think she may have been taken and hidden. Okay, this is where we're hoping someone can remember a red, because there are people who say they think they remember seeing the red Mustang in this area. Okay, they pretty sure they saw it, but they're now trying to zero in a little bit more. So someone saw that red Mustang pulled off to one of these two sides. Okay, and then from there, let's see here. Okay. So, well, if you know of anything, please take a second to actually go through that. It's crazy just trying to get into this whole area. And now knowing that they may have been looking in, okay, this might be where we are. Hey, Amy, how you doing, my dear? Hey, how dare you be late? No, you're just on Hawaiian time. You're good. You're good. You're good. I'm trying to see if I could get a little closer to the plantation so you can get this area, because they're saying up to the bridge area. So let me take it here to show you this area a little bit more. Kamehameha Highway. See here, miles later, and it looks the same. And this is what they're walking through every day trying to find her. So please help share that out as much as you can. And now I wanted to also share with you guys about the other woman who was found killed, is what we think. I still am waiting for some updates on this. And because, of course, it's military, we don't get a lot of information. In Mischa's case, we've gotten a lot more because the family is stepping up and sharing a lot of extra stuff. But share this part with you. NCIS. Okay. Agents with NCIS are investigating the death on Sunday. Now, this was a few weeks ago. Okay, this is September 7th. So 2 weeks ago now, of a Marine family member at Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Investigators have not released the name of the two individuals. Out of respect for them, they're doing that. No charges were filed at that time. I cannot verify, did they actually charge him or not? I've not been able to find anything on that yet. But this is just one more situation where we're seeing this. Not only do we have Mischa, we have this young woman. Okay, we also have another case here that you're seeing. Okay, this was back in 2022 where a Kaneohe Bay Marine was arrested after he's still, I don't think he's been found guilty yet, but he allegedly killed his wife. They got into a big fight while driving home, pulled off along the side of the road, and he stabbed her to death. And so we keep hearing about this, and it seems to be getting more and more regular that we're hearing these stories. Okay, and there's we've got to figure out a way that we could deal with DV in general. So I wanted to share that one with you because just the thought to me that 2 murders in the case of 2 months on 2 different military bases, we got a problem that needs to be taken a look at. And I know the military is looking at this stuff. I know growing up military, I know they were always addressing DV. Okay, but we've moved on. Amy, this is actually we're right now talking about Mischa. We're going to move on in just a second to the next case. I'm just going to give some updates on a couple different cases right now, but this case is really, as you can tell, I talked a little longer on it. This is really, really close to my heart, this case right now. And we need a lot of people from the mainland to know about it, because chances are it's a mainland person who may have seen, Dwayne disposing of the body and all. So let me move us on to the next bit. Let me ask you guys real quickly. I know most of us here have been following Elijah's case. We talked earlier about on Monday that they had found some remains of a young child, and the thought was it was Elijah. And there was I'm pulling it up right now, press conference today, letting us know the results of that. And yes, it was Elijah. I wanted to play that real quickly. Let me put a 1 in chat if you were able to see this. Put a 2 in chat if you have not seen this yet. It was not really long. And I want to say thank you, Sleuth Mom. Sleuth Mom kind of helped clear up a lot of the audio on this. So we're going to play her version. As you see, it's only almost 9 minutes long. But there was some wrong information that was being shared about where, the remains were found and stuff. So all that was clarified. However, it was Elijah. And okay, we got some 2s. So for some of you guys, this will be your first time getting to see it. The rest of you are probably like me. You can now start listening a little closer and to hear the things you may have missed. And also, let's move on to
Is Melissa Wiesner, last name spelling Wiesner. I'm the Assistant Chief with the Two Rivers Police Department. I would like to first thank you all for taking the time to be here, and also to those of you watching or listening in. Your unwavering concern and support for Elijah has been greatly appreciated by all of us. Today, we're holding this press briefing to provide you updates in regards to the search.
They snuck in some
Boone.
questions, but not much.
Since the moment that we took the call on February 20th of this year for Elijah Vu being missing, Elijah has been our top priority and will remain
Done an amazing
priority.
job.
Because we are committed to open and honest communication with our community, we are holding this press briefing. Chief Ben Meinert of the Two Rivers Police Department will be sharing important updates with you all. Meinert's last name is spelled Meinnert. We will not be taking any questioning during or following the press briefing because we are already sharing all of the information that we are able to provide to you at this time. There will be a packet available for you containing the information that Chief will be sharing, and I will provide that to you following the press briefing. Chief Meinert.
7 months, I think. Something right about 7 months. Let me check what day.
Last Saturday, Sheriff Hartwig called me immediately upon learning his deputies were responding to investigate a report of skeletal remains found by someone in the town of Two Rivers. With night falling near, the entire area was secured while a variety of resources were gathered to investigate. Ultimately, a forensic anthropologist with the Wisconsin State Crime Laboratories was able to confirm a skull and bones as human remains. On Sunday, my staff assisted the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office, Department of Justice, Division of Criminal Investigation, and the Wisconsin Crime Lab with recovery of those remains and any associated evidence. The intentions of our team were to first notify family of the discovery and then alert the public. Prior to that, however, reports went out on social media and other platforms, some of which were false and most of which had yet to be confirmed. While we do feel it's important to share information with the public, our first priority is Elijah and the integrity of the investigation, as well as communication with the family. These are the facts that I can share. The remains were found on private property by a person getting his land ready for the hunting season. This land was not on Manitou Girl Scout camp property.
So that was one. I'm going to stop it there real quickly. Hey, Cupcake, welcome. Yeah, Cupcake has been sending me messages and helping me with updates on this. So thank you. That was one thing that was news to many of us. A lot of people, you know what happens. News comes out and people start running with it. And sometimes we've got the facts. Sometimes things get confused in the haze of everything. And also, but he was found in the end. And this is the thing, whether it's okay in Gannon's case, whatever the case is, they're gonna find these people. People try to think they're not going to be able to be. This guy was out there trying to prep his land. And keep him in your prayers because he's the one who had to witness this. Yes, KK, yes. Actually, Amy was asking, when did he go missing? It was actually about 7 months ago. He and Sebastian we had a lot of cases go missing at the same time. It was literally like 2 or 3 weeks of just person after person. It was just, you're like, when? Okay. It was horrible. And, but February 20th is when he went missing. And this is the case for those of you who may have forgotten, where his mom was dating this guy, okay, Jesse Vang, and Jesse was put in charge of discipline and teaching little Elijah how to be a man. Because, you know, every 3-year-old needs to be taught how to toughen up and be a man. And what they did to this little boy, I mean, justice is just the beginning here. Okay, because this little guy, some people should never be a parent. That's all I'm going to say. And before I get myself a little bit more angry than I need to be. And also, let's continue this on.
But rather a thick wooded area with heavy underbrush, just to the north of Manitou. This location is just over 3 miles northwest of where he originally was reported missing.
3 miles.
This area had been searched several times, as had been reported, by law enforcement searches, by private searches, by the landowner, by air, and with various search and rescue teams. Despite all those previous efforts and throughout different conditions and changing seasons, we continued searching and even had continued searches scheduled as early as next week.
And that's the thing, guys, when you're talking searches, okay, searches like they've got, okay, for Misha right now. Okay, we're going to be talking in a few minutes, okay, about Bub, okay, Calvin Jones. People are searching and you think, oh, I looked at this one area, I don't need to. Things change over time, okay, things settle, okay, weather changes, what you can see and what you can't see. And that's why you can never stop. You can't just say, okay, that area has been searched. We don't need to do it again. It's just one of the proof of that.
The remains found by the hunter and recovered by law enforcement were taken to the Wisconsin Crime Lab for DNA testing to identify the person. It is with a heavy heart that I announce to you today, those remains were identified as Elijah Booth. With that news and following this briefing, the Amber Alert will be canceled.
Good point, Amy. Very good point.
As soon as Elijah was identified, we notified his family. I ask that you respect them.
If it was, sorry, just answering what Amy has, timing could change with that. Other people involved, we know the two, or I feel the two. And, but it is another thought. And, but there were so many between, I think I heard Sleuth say this, between where he went missing, where he was found, where other of his items, some of the items had been found and all that. This was hidden. They made a point of trying to hide it. Okay, it's not like the kid just wandered away or something like, no. This is, yeah, it was an active decision to hide him.
and allow them to grieve. The area where Elijah was located is private property, and we ask that you respect the private property owner
Please.
and avoid that area. This is not the outcome that we hoped for. The family's devastated, we're devastated, our community's devastated. I never met Elijah, but I watched that 3-year-old boy bring out the best in this community. I can't thank the public and our businesses enough.
Guys, you can hear how hard this is for them. These police officers. This police department did such an amazing job. They basically adopted this kiddo, and he became theirs. Okay, having to share information that they've probably kind of, like us, had a good feeling about. Okay, that not good feeling, but good thought that, yeah, this is what it is. None of us want this to be it. But it's been eating them up inside. Now they have to report it. And it's one of those things when you have to say the words, it makes it real. It's the difference. There's certain things in our lives that certain words that you can think, but verbalizing it makes it real. And you can hear that. You can hear just they're torn up. Okay, they're grieving in the same way that so many other people who knew Elijah are grieving. And so, yeah.
Thank you, DCI, for continuing to lead this investigation, FBI for their support, and our local, state, and federal law enforcement and fire departments, as well as the numerous neighboring agencies. I'd also like to thank all the churches, schools, all the search and rescue groups, and our residents and the family members. Thank you to all that the various city employees have done. The efforts of all of you and many others help bring conclusion to this phase of the investigation. What started out as a search for a missing boy is now a death investigation. Although we understand your desire for information, we can't share every detail, and we must maintain the integrity of the investigation. We know the family and the community has a lot of questions. This is a process that will take a great deal of time, and we'll do everything we can in this investigation to answer those questions. Going forward, we'll continue to share updates provided from DCI and the Manitowoc County DA. We will receive them, and we will continue to be your sole source of accurate information. Now that we know the location of where Elijah was located off Christy Bob Lane and Manitou Drive, we ask that anybody with any information, if you haven't previously provided it or you think it may be useful in this investigation, to please contact law enforcement. Again, my assistant chief will provide you with the information on how to do so if you can. And again, thank you all for being here.
Chief, when do we expect a death investigation or autopsy?
Sorry, as a reminder, there will not be any questions.
When would that autopsy results be coming?
As Chief said, if you have any information that you feel would be beneficial for this investigation, please contact Detective Lieutenant Glazer of the Two Rivers Police Department at 920-686-7200. Again, that's Detective Lieutenant Glazer, Glaser, at the Two Rivers Police Department at 920-686-7200. As Chief Meinert said, we too are devastated by this news. Elijah was a little guy, but he left a huge impact on all of us, and he will not be forgotten. That will conclude the information we're sharing today at this press briefing.
Chief,
as a reminder, we will not be having questions at this time, as we already shared all the information we are available.
Will police be referring homicide charges to the district attorney?
Is an autopsy scheduled? What's the reason
Okay.
for not taking questions?
Have all of his remains been recovered?
So that's where they ended. And they told everyone, honestly, I think with the amount of emotion they've got right now that they're dealing with, it makes sense. We kind of know a lot of those questions are just going to come sooner or later. The answers will be there. But it does. It now takes it to this next level because one of the things that they could not move forward on easily were murder charges. Now those are possible. Okay. Justice becomes something that becomes easier to grab onto. And it's like over here, okay, with Ariel, we still don't have Ariel's body, which makes it harder and harder to prove and get those two effing monsters in prison forever. And hey, Trisha, how you doing, my dear? Love you, my dear. Thank you for coming. And so now they can. Elijah can get justice. We can have justice for Elijah, a little guy who hit so many of our hearts. Okay, whether we knew him or not, you can't help but see the smile that he had. Okay, and it's just, there's no words about that. Next case I wanted to address real quickly was from Monday. Okay, Monday we talked about Calvin Bud Jones. Please go take a look on Monday's live. Calvin Bud is the single dad of 3 children. He went missing on August 20th. And like so many other cases, he had tons of coverage at first, and then it disappeared. We're now 1 week away from a 1-month anniversary. I was able to get in touch with some of his family and was able to clarify a couple bits of information that I either did not have originally or may have had incorrect. So I wanted to clarify those things with you guys. For those of you who were not here on Monday for this, Calvin had worked for 10 years, almost 10 years actually, in fact, let me pull up Google Earth so you guys can see the map for this, the whole area where he disappeared from. 1 second, let me just Google Earth. Here we go. So he worked as a, 1 second. Okay. He worked as a pizza delivery person at this one, oh, come on. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm all over the place, aren't I? Let's see. Sorry, let me just do this. There we go. Wow, I have the whole earth upside down. And here we go. There we go. Okay. Let me go get this. Set to north. Okay, now we can get this. So get out of street view, and now we can go through this. So he went missing out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. Switch this out for you guys here. Move over. There we go. Okay, now we can do this. He had worked 10 years at the same job. The one thing that we were told over and over about Calvin is he was a creature of habit. He was loved by his family. His family was everything to him. He was, single dad of 3. His middle son, oldest son, they shared everything. They talked about where he was going to be, all these different things. And around 10 p.m. on the night he was last seen, he delivered a pizza to his house. Then he went back to work. Now, this is one of the things I wanted to clarify and correct for anyone in this area. I had said he worked at the Giorgio's Oven Fresh Pizza and had one down here in Cleveland, closer to the waterfront. He actually worked at this location right here, on Harvard and 71st Street. So around 10 p.m., he went back to this location. Around 11:30, he was spotted on camera. And all this is on Monday's video. You can go back to that with the pictures and all that. around 11:30, they have him on video footage. He actually got on the phone with his oldest son, and his oldest son was like, why is it that my brother won't go to sleep? How do I get my brother to sleep? Okay, really, that's what the whole discussion was. Okay, they were enjoying some time, just the two of them. Okay, oh my gosh, that girl, KK, that just drove me crazy trying to get it to reset. I've got to figure out how to, yeah, I was totally reset. Like I said, and I'm dealing with Restream instead of StreamYard, and I'm trying to learn this program, and I'm like, okay. But anyhow, after talking to his son, okay, and being in this area right here by Giorgio's, he left and he went missing. Okay, the next morning, there was supposed to be a big party. His oldest child, his daughter, was turning 18, was heading off to college, and they had a family get together planned for that day. He did not show up for that family get together. That's when his family was like, something's wrong, and they called in the disappearance immediately. A couple of the times were verified by family, and so I wanted to go through those again. His phone last pinged in Bedford at 8:57, and his car was last seen. Now, we don't know if he was in the car, though, guys. That's the thing. Even though this is the next day, we don't know who was in this vehicle at the time. But it was seen, okay, at Broadway and McCracken, okay, in Garfield Heights at 11:45 in the morning. So over in this area. So somehow he ended up from here, house somewhere over in this area, and he ended up over in this area. His phone last pinged in Bedford over here. So we've got this whole area pretty much being covered. Now, there was some discussion about his vehicle being seen outside of his house at 2:45. And that's why we were like, wait, did he go here, then up here, then work his way back to the house, and then, or someone, whoever it was. They're saying the reason why the police are now saying that no, that was not his vehicle is because instead of it being an Impala, they're pretty sure the back of that vehicle in the picture was a Chevy Malibu or a Cruise, not an Impala. So that's why police are like, nope, that was not him. Now, the main thing I wanted to connect with everyone about is the tattoos. KK's in chat. So, you know what? No problem, KK. I didn't have it up. Let me pull up what I can get real quickly for you guys, and I'll switch the picture. But in the meantime, as KK loves to tell us, people can change how they look. Okay, they can put on a wig, they can do makeup differently. One of the things that makes it really hard in this case to hide is he has a number of tattoos, a lot of tattoos. And let me actually, second, let me pull up one of these here. Let me get this photo up so I can share with you guys this poster real quickly. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. The fun of learning how to use a new streaming software program. Actually, it's not bad, I have to say. I don't mind it whatsoever. And so let me see. Okay, here we go. So this is Calvin. Oh, it's uploading it, so it may take a few seconds. Okay, there we go. This is Calvin here. So Calvin does have a number of tattoos. And initially, I had told you guys on Monday, the only one I knew about was Simba on his left wrist. And I didn't know if it was on the outside or the inside or things like that. His family has been able to verify with me a number of the tattoos. Now they don't have any pictures other than a couple little half-C type pictures that are just normal photos. They are trying to contact the tattoo artist to see if he has any of these photos, but they're running into, he isn't having any luck finding any of them. However, important things to know here. The Simba that we talked about was baby Simba. Okay, it's not Simba, the older Simba, it's baby Simba. Okay, you know, yeah, that one. Okay, on the inside of his left wrist. So baby Simba on the inside. On his left chest, he has a tattoo of the names Lania, Laniah, and Damien in cursive. That's on his left side of his chest. On his left upper arm, he has the words laugh now, cry later, with some Victorian masks, the Victorian masks, tattoo of that. So all that's on his left upper arm. And on both calves, he has tattoos of lions. One of the lions is wearing a crown. So definitely some very distinctive tattoos. If we find any pictures, I'll definitely share those with you. The family is at a loss. They're out there every day trying to search for him, posting posters, things like that. And they're kind of at that point where you're 3 weeks in and you're kind of not sure where else you go. I suggested to them doing like a press release for the 1 month anniversary, but we know the more people see his photo, the more people will respond. And this is 3 children who are, okay, one of them 18, the youngest, I'm not sure on the age of the youngest. Okay, I'm estimating probably about preteenish, but they're missing their dad right now. And also, if you guys can help us with getting that out there, it'd be a huge, huge help. I'm also going to try to redo this poster with the detailed information on the tattoos. But if you guys can help us out with that one, there are no updates. This is a great thing though. If any of you guys have any ideas, you guys are like me. You follow missing people, okay, and you follow the processes they go through in keeping their loved one out in the public eye. If you have any ideas that you can share with people, okay, so if the family is like, what do we do? What are some other ideas that we can do? Okay, what would you tell them? Can you think of any suggestions for them? And yeah, sorry, yeah, Cupcake, I was mentioning at the beginning, actually, I haven't mentioned it in a while. StreamYard is upping their prices in a few more months, and it costs an arm and a leg to begin with. And Restream is a little cheaper, and they actually do a pretty good job from what I'm seeing so far. I just need to learn the system. So that's why I'm playing around with this. So, and yes, there's KK's reminder right there. Hair can be cut or dyed. Now, in this case here, I don't think cutting is a major issue because it's very close to begin with, but he could wear a wig. Okay, or someone else. Now, the other thing going on here is he was just starting to date a new girlfriend. There is no suspects named in this or whatever, but that was part of the overall picture going on here. They're just at a loss. They don't know where to go right now. So if you can help out with any of those things. So, and moving on, let's see. We will move. Okay, Crimea Baker. Let me actually, since I got a lot of people who have not been here for a while, put a 1 in chat if you remember me talking about Crimea Baker and Sean Lange. This is the woman and her husband or boyfriend who were killed in their house while her 4 children were hiding until the next morning. They were scared to come out of hiding because of all the gunshots they were hearing. So put a 1 in chat if you remember this story. Put a 2 in chat if you're like, whoa, okay, I haven't heard about this yet. And while you guys are doing that, I am going to pull up something new on that. Okay, so we can kind of share that, but gives me an idea how much I need to re-go through for you guys or not. Let's see here. Okay. So this case actually happened. Actually, it was brought to me by one of you that was telling me about some cases that were going on. And when I heard about this, okay, KK's a 2. And this hit me. The idea that there were, 4 children whose mom and dad or stepdad were killed at 1:30 in a barrage of gunfire. I'm not talking 1, 2, 3. No, if I remember right, it was like 42 or 47 shells that were found when the investigation began. No one called the police. These children hid in their house. worried that someone was going to walk into the door, okay, and hurt them. They themselves, when it got sunny outside, came out and found what can only be described as a horror scene. Okay, mom and their stepdad in bed, okay, with gun round everywhere. It's just so there's been a little bit of updates on this. Probably one of the biggest ones that I wanted to share is they are expanding the investigation here, trying to look in some other areas. We did talk about her ex living in Florida, but he did have an alibi. Couple things on those levels. The other big issue going on right now is family are doing everything in their power to keep these 4 children together. The children were taken into, okay, social services, okay, to make sure they were safe. But you've got 4 children, and this was a very close family. People, we're going to read through this real quickly, but some of the stuff that was told in stories is just how much Crimea kept everyone together. She was a speech therapist for children. Okay, she had a connection that when you see pictures of her and her children, you can see that connection and how close they were and how they had just built this house, brand new area and everything to create a nice, safe area for their children. And Sleuth, you hadn't heard about this one yet either. Okay, this one, it's really, I'm trying to get verification. There is a GoFundMe out there to raise money for the children. I'm still trying to verify that that is a real GoFundMe and not being done by someone else, but there is something out there for that. So anyhow, the search has expanded for the person who shot and killed 2 people in their home with 4 unharmed children in Frederick County. They're investigating the deaths of Crimea Baker, 33, and 34-year-old Sean Lange. Deputies responded to the 7,000 block of Mandalong Court around 7 a.m., about 6 hours after the shooting. Now, guys, they've been able to figure out that the shooting happened at 1:30. Okay? These kids sat hiding. And as you can see in the next line, they were all 13 years old and younger. We're not talking 16, 17-year-old children. We're talking young children. Okay. The oldest of which came out and found mom in all this way. The terror, okay, they will never forget. The 4 children inside, all 13 years of age or younger, hid until the morning when they felt it was safe to emerge. Social services and other agencies are assisting the children, according to the sheriff's office. Investigators said they have recovered 42 shell casings from inside the home on a quiet Frederick County cul-de-sac. There's no other weapon, just that. That alone, this is a crime of passion, which is one reason why many people were jumping towards the ex. Now, like I said, the ex had an alibi. Does that rule out? No, but it doesn't rule in automatically either. Police are looking into other things, and they are expanding their search now. I can assure the public and the families of the victims, we are going to do everything we can to bring this person or persons to justice. The search is going beyond Maryland borders at this time. Okay, and they are adding additional people. While Jenkins did not go into detail about what agencies are involved in the investigation, he did, say they did interview the ex-husband who lives in Miami. We have talked to the ex-husband in Miami, so we're checking all the alibi to make sure it worked. Okay, the alibi is going to stand at this point or not. Now, this is where we started to get a little additional information. Doorbell cameras captured the sound of shots ringing, and this is what has pissed me off. And I think BC and I talked about this case some. Really pissed both of us off. Doorbells heard these shots going off at 1:30 in the morning. Why did no one call 911? Why did no one go check on these children? You hear 42 shots ring out. Okay, fine, I get it. You're not going to want to go check and make sure because you could be in danger yourself. But you know what? What if someone's life could have been saved? And no matter what if police had gotten there and could have saved these children the view that they saw when they opened up, okay, the bedroom door and saw them laying there? And with 42 rounds, it was probably, I hate to say it, but a fairly bloody sight that they saw. Okay, it's something they will never get out of their head. Jenkins says one of the children called for help in the morning. According to a recording of the dispatch call, that child was 10 years old. My thought is the 13-year-old was probably calming down the rest of the family, the rest of the children. That's my thought, at least. Okay, and it's like, you know what? Probably taking order and saying, okay, call 911, call them, and is trying to calm everyone down. Okay, Baker is the mother of all 4 children, and Lange is the father of one of the children. She recently had the baby, which is Lange's child. I can't imagine what was going through their mind. They were hiding throughout the house, and at some point, I guess they felt safe enough to come forward and find out what was going on to make that call. Jenkins calls this case unique and unlike anything he's seen in 34 years. They did say they feel they were targeted. Like I said, crime of passion or something. It definitely anger. There was a lot of emotion behind this. Okay, there are no indications that there was any drug activity going on in this case. There was a vigil that happened at this time. And like I said, everyone has talked about, especially Crimea, how sweet she was, how much we talked about the fact that she did like speech pathology with children, the amount of patience that takes. Okay, the amount of being able to get a child to trust you. That shows the type of heart she had. And it's something you see with everyone. One of her friends said, I knew as soon as I met Crimea that she was somebody that I wanted to have in my life because she was just so beautiful and she was such a good person. So they're still trying to get information on this case. There's not much. Again, this is a case I think is probably being investigated quietly. Not much update because there hasn't been a lot of push to update the case and let people know. So the police are probably holding all this, okay, quiet and just building their case. At least that's what I'm hoping they're doing at this point. And also, and last case, well, not last, because I do, before we finish, guys, and I thank you guys for hanging out longer than normal. After we talk about Mamta real quick, I do want to talk about Ariel before we go. A lot of you may not know Ariel's case, but we're at 3 years today that she was reported missing. And but Mamta real quick. Oh, by the way, the other thing with the case in Frederick County, they are looking for anyone who has photos, has video footage or anything between 11 p.m. Saturday the 24th and 3 a.m. on Sunday the 25th. Okay, for Crimea. Okay, the 2 that were killed, to please let the police know. And also, okay, whoops. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can get this real quickly. Actually, we're not going to do this. We're going to real quickly. Today, we, for those of you, let me see, KK, what do you got here? Okay. Just shared an active Amber Alert that has been making my phone go off every 20 minutes. Okay. Let me see. Let me try to pull that up real quickly. Did you send that via Messenger by any chance? Let me see what I can do on pulling that one up real quick. Is it a national or is it a Texas one? Just trying to find out. There. Not there. There. Okay, let me go into Discord. I don't have Discord open real quick, so let me find out real quickly. Sorry, gang. I want to pull up this Amber Alert if I can. It is Discord. Okay, let me pull up Discord. Lately, I've been shutting Discord down so it doesn't take up too much of my memory on my phone. Oh, try to reload it. It doesn't want to load. Actually, Discord's causing me problems. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, wait. I know what I can do. I can do Discord on my phone for you guys real quick because I'm not going to be able to pull it up that way. So I guess Amber Alert out of, I'm suspecting Texas right now. Let me find out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So this is a Texas Amber Alert issued for a missing 6-year-old boy from Ingram, Texas. So here's the little guy. Actually, wait, let me do this so I can see what it is I'm sharing. Okay, so this is the little guy that we have an Amber Alert out for right now. I will see if I can post a poster. As soon as we're done with this, I will post a poster. And looks like he is 6 years old. Cameron Parrish was last seen at 10:45 a.m. Wednesday, September. So he went missing on Wednesday, September 11th. He's a white male, brown hair, blue eyes, standing at 4'8" and weighing 55 pounds. Okay, dokes, we'll do. I'll pull it up again right at the end of the live. Also, let's see. So it looks like there's a white female, Talea Graham. So I'm trying to see, is it a family member? Okay, the Ingram Police Department is also looking for Talea Graham. Here is her picture, real quickly. And in connection to the child's abduction, 32-year-old white female believed to be driving a silver 2014 Nissan Versa with Texas license plate TLS 5425. She was also last seen in Ingram. I'm not hearing whether or not she is a family member or not. I'm going to have to look into that one for sure. And I'll let you know as soon as I get. Thank you, KK. I'll bring all that up right at the end. That way I can make sure I pull out anything that needs to be pulled out. So let me see what we got. So we've got that one shared, and I'll make sure we will close with that one also. And okay, got it. Thank you. And also real quickly, so yeah, please help that, and I'll see if I can make a poster real quick to share that out after this. So, but in the meantime, Mamta, screen share. Okay, let's see. So today they haven't mentioned the relationship. Okay, got it. That's where I was like, that's interesting there. So, okay. This here has some, for those of you who've been following Mamta's case, today was a big day. Naresh, her husband, had a court date today. They have been trying to get their hands on some of the evidence in this case, specifically what looks like, I think, some Uber information. What has been interesting in this case, though, is that what they're asking for, yes, we know evidence has to be shared when there's a court date. I mean, that's part of the rules, okay? Everyone needs to share whatever they have access to. The problem is there is no trial date set on this case. So they're trying to get this information, and how they're going about it is a special ruling that has to do with if that information that they feel is being held can prove someone's innocence or okay, something in that type of thing. And they're feeling that if they had access to this, it would prove Naresh is innocent. Now, the other thing that's tied to this, I can tell you right now, Naresh looks like he's going to go after the good old-fashioned gone girl idea here. Okay, well, there's no body, so I think she's alive out there somewhere. That's literally what he's going to go after, as far as I can see right now. And so I did, to go through this one here, this came out today. So they had the court date today to go over releasing of this information. So, and as you can see here, it was partially granted. Naresh Bhatt's defense took a step forward Friday morning as Prince William Circuit Court judge partially granted the motion to compel, forcing the prosecution to turn over evidence related to Mamta's canceled Uber ride on July 27th. For those of you who have not been following Mamta's case and want more information, please go check out Sleuth. Sleuth has done some really good work on her case. Okay, really following stuff on this. So, Sleuth, if you're still there and you have any videos you want to share, or we can even share our Sleuth channel there. She's really helpful on this case. Judge Carol Weimer presided over the hearing and ruled that while Naresh Bhatt's GPS and cell phone data were exempt from disclosure, the prosecution, quote, has an obligation to turn over exculpatory and favorable material in a timely manner. This is under the precedent established in Brady versus Maryland, a 1963 Supreme Court case. So basically what defense is saying is that this information that the prosecution has could prove Naresh innocent. So they're saying based off of that, we should have access to it now, even though we don't have a trial date even set yet. That's basically what's going on here, from my understanding. According to Weimer, the Brady rule eligible material included security footage of Mamta Bhatt ordering an Uber ride on July 27th from the UVA Health Prince William Medical Center where she worked, before canceling the ride and allegedly returning to her Heather Court home in Manassas Park with an unknown acquaintance. So you can kind of see where they're trying to build this up as, oh, well, he's innocent because take a look at what is out there. Weimer said the footage, which he called somewhat speculative, should be disclosed per Senior Assistant Public Defender Shalev bin Abraham's request, albeit without any accompanying police reports. Weimer also ruled that the prosecution must disclose to the defense whether police instructed Naresh Bhatt, currently charged with concealing a dead body, to wait before filing a missing persons report, which he eventually did on August 5th. Ben Abraham insisted the prosecution's claim of Naresh Bhatt having filed a missing persons report too late was inaccurate. They said Naresh and Mamta's phones were last tracked together in Loudoun County in the middle of the day, and that our claim is that she's still alive. So again, Naresh has to be innocent because she's out there somewhere. Quote, someone that she wanted to hide from, everyone picked her up. So basically saying, oh, she was either having an affair or she was meeting up with someone and she decided to abandon her child. Sorry, you can tell how I feel in this and all, but she abandoned her, child, infant, and all that just to do. Not to mention all the other facts that you can look into. Said of the hospital video, adding there are more nefarious things going on here. Ben Abraham continued, is she even dead? We've not conceded that. The video could show that Mamta is hiding and still alive. Naresh Bhatt was arrested and charged with concealing a dead body on August 22nd, over 3 weeks after his wife was last seen. He's been in custody since that arrest. So during the hearing today, Weimer repeatedly probed Deputy Commonwealth Attorney Matthew Sweet as to why the Commonwealth hadn't yet turned over that evidence. Sweet said a firm trial date is needed to be set to determine when the evidence is timely. The thought behind evidence, guys, is if you're holding evidence, okay, there's a set time. I don't remember if any of you guys in chat remember what the date is. Is it like 120? I forget the date part. But if you know when the trial is set for, you know you have so many days before that trial that you have to submit all the evidence. So that's what they're saying is, wait, we're waiting for a trial date so that we can then make sure that we get all evidence by that date. That's basically what's being said. Then, okay, Sweet went on to say this is not Brady. This is a fishing expedition. Submit a discovery order, stop playing games. If it's exculpatory, we will provide it to counsel. So they're basically saying, hey, this is not exculpatory. This is not going to prove, okay, innocence or anything like that. Okay, they just want our information right now, pretty much. Sweet continued, Mamta getting into a car 2 days before her disappearance does not exculpate the defendant from concealing a dead body 2 days later. With head shaking among Mamta Bhatt supporters in the audience, Ben Avram also cited Mamta Bhatt's report of domestic abuse in February when police were called to the residence, claiming her departure from home was a recurrence. So they're now saying that, well, she's complained about DV before. Okay, so this is just, she's run off this time. Quote, she left before in late February for several days. Adding the timeline about Bhatt's disappearance. Could be disproven with cell phone data. Weimers ultimately granted only a portion of the motion to compel, denying the request for the cell phone data portion. They're entitled to use trial tactics. If I or the trial judge find that you've withheld evidence improperly, there may be greater sanctions on the Commonwealth. Mamta Bhatt was absent again, and these are some of the red flags that many people have pointed out. She was absent for her daughter's first birthday on August 20th. And community members said this is a telling element in that case based off of the type of mother she was. Whatever the defense was saying about Mamta and however he described her, keep in mind no mother will leave the child behind on their first birthday. Nepali community member Prabha, about miscommunicating names here, said at a news conference outside the Prince William County Judicial Center. There was no phone call that came in. That's what we're waiting for. That didn't happen. Okay, they're saying, you know what? If she did run away, give that benefit of the doubt that she did run away. She would have contacted someone for her baby's first birthday. And that phone call never came in. And that was something that raised the red flag even higher. Okay, they added that during the February incident where she ran away the other time, okay, she was still in communication with friends and relatives. That's also the difference then versus now. Now she is not communicating with anyone. Additional community members provided their thoughts during the conference. If prosecutors give their evidence too early, you know, in the criminal justice field, if you give it too early, you have the ace card. Okay, so they've gone through this. The next hearing is Monday at 9 a.m., and hopefully we will hear a trial date at that time. And they've also been out searching for more information, looking at the house again, a bunch of different things along that. So where I am with that, sorry, gang. Okay, here we go. So that kind of gives us an idea where we are with Mamta's case. Hopefully we will have a court date that we can report next week when we come together again. What I want to do before I go back to that Amber Alert one more time, I want to finish with that so that we can make sure I get that timed right at the end also. But a lot of you guys have been with me since day one. The first video I ever did on missing people here in Hawaii was this little angel right behind me. She and Monkey were the first two that I ever did. And she's always been close to my heart because of the fact that she literally lives right across the mountain from me. If I climbed to the top of the mountains, I'd be looking right down at her house. I can still go by her house regularly. Even though they sold the house, I can go by there and see her fence and stuff like that. I'm wearing purple today because today is the 3rd anniversary of Ariel being reported missing. The first time her name came to any of our attention. I remember when it came through, and all of a sudden it's like this little girl by the name of Isabella Kalua. No, 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 no. It's Ariel Sellers, and it will always be Ariel Sellers. Went missing overnight. According to her adopted mom and dad, monsters, she went to bed and disappeared overnight. One of those. As time went on, we very quickly realized that this little sweetheart, this little angel, along with her siblings, were being treated horribly by their adoptive parents. Okay, this little girl was being kept in a dog cage. She went from looking like this cute little chubby little, okay, child to a skeleton, pretty much. She lost so much weight because they refused to let her eat. And so I know a lot of you guys have followed her case since day one with me, but a lot of people don't know her case. And today I want to go back into that case. I know this has been a long live, longer than I usually like to go. We're at an hour 40 minutes, but I think we still can do this because she deserves justice right now. Ariel, 3 years is way too long for no justice. She's still out there missing. They've never found her body. These two monsters here will not talk. One of them pretended to have COVID so that he could go hide her body. She's never been found. Her siblings, her oldest sibling, in fact, is the one who had to try to help her when they discovered that she was no longer breathing. Had to help run water to get her into the water to hopefully shock her back into life, I guess, before her adopted mom told her, oh, go back into your room, because adopted mom now knew that they had gone too far, and now they had to figure out a way to hide it. And 3 years later, not only do we not have Ariel, but there is no trial. They keep pushing off this trial. It's interesting. We almost know automatically every time a trial date pops up or an update with the courts pop up, I know before even going there that it's going to say, oh yeah, defensive has requested that the trial date be pushed back. They're playing our court system to not have trial come together. Right now, we're looking at January for trial. And I'm wondering, will this finally be it? Will this finally be the time that this little girl gets to have justice? Will this finally be the time that her siblings can finally move on in life? And so many of you guys have heard about this case, but I know there's a lot of people who have not. So I want to make sure to give her the respect of people knowing that we're not forgetting her, that she's still there. So this was written November 12th, 2021. Today is September 13th, 2024. Court documents released Friday reveal horrific new allegations against the adoptive parents charged with murdering 6-year-old Isabella Ariel Kalua. Ariel Sellers, we're going to say her real name. You guys in chat, please help me by keep saying her name. Okay. Including that they kept her in a dog cage in the bathroom with duct tape on her mouth and refused to feed her. The graphic new details were included in a complaint made Friday, okay, November 2021, the same day Isaac and Lehua Kalua made their first appearance in court for the missing girl's murder. The two appeared via a live stream from Oahu OCCC and allowed their attorney to submit not guilty pleas on their behalf. They didn't say a word as the state argued that they continue to be held without bail. Thank God they've never been given bail. because the crimes they're accused of carry life sentences without the possibility of parole. A judge agreed with prosecutors and said they'd continue to be held without bail. Now, that doesn't mean they haven't tried repeatedly to get bail established. Okay, Sonny keeps coming back every time. I think I should get bail. I think I should get bail. Well, you know what? I'm sure Ariel would love to be buried where her family can come and spend time with her. And by the way, we're going to be lighting lanterns this weekend for the Mid-Autumn Festival. And we will be lighting lanterns for a number of the people we've talked about tonight. KK just said, she's got a lot of it. She's got so many people who love her. So many people who are not going to shut up. Her grandma has spent all day posting videos and pictures, picture after picture, outfit after outfit of purple, because Ariel loved the color purple. And so she has a voice, and that's not going to be taken away. They're due back, they're due back November. Yeah, they've been due back a lot of times. And the court documents, police say an older sibling of Isabella's, Ariel's, told investigators earlier this month that the adoptive parents had asked her to, quote, keep a secret. That Ariel was kept in a dog cage in the bathroom with duct tape over her nose and mouth, and that she did not wake up. You know what? We've never even been able to get to an autopsy in this case to find out what she died of. Did she die of malnutrition, dehydration, illnesses due to all those things? Did she die from the fact that she had duct tape over her nose and her mouth? No one knows. To this day, the people who love her have no answers when it comes to that. That sibling was then allegedly forced to help carry her sister's lifeless body to their bedroom. Police determined Ariel was last seen on surveillance cameras at the home on August 18th. She was not reported missing till September 13th. 3 weeks. It's amazing how many times we hear that story over and over. Right now, we're talking about it with Mischa's case. Weeks later, you finally get the report made after they try to clean up all of the evidence. It was on or around that date, August 18th, that they believe the 6-year-old was killed. The couple, however, did not report her missing until almost a month later in mid-September. In an interview November 5th with police, the older sibling said that about 3:30 in the morning, on the day she last saw Ariel in the home, the Kaluas went to check on the girl in the bathroom and found her lifeless. The sibling knows Ariel was dead because she was there. The sibling stated she was there because her parents woke her up. Talk about abuse on top of abuse. It's not bad enough, and sorry, I am going to get a little riled up on this, guys, and I'm sorry. I'm just saying it right now, warning. And KK, they're cowards. They're true cowards, and they don't want to stand up and take responsibility for what they did. And so many people who know the truth, too, because I'm almost positive there are many other people here on this island who know the truth. And but look at the amount of abuse on top of abuse. Let me ask you this. If you have multiple children at home, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and you walk into one of their bedrooms in the middle of the night, and you find them not only unconscious, but no signs of life, are you going to get up and walk to one of your other children's room and wake them up and have them come in and help out with reviving her? That's abuse on abuse in my eyes, plain and simple. And I gotta call it for what it is. After being woken up, her sibling went into the bathroom and saw that Ariel had duct tape on her nose and her mouth and was not breathing. Lehua then filled the bathtub with water and put Ariel in it to see if she would miraculously wake up, but she did not. Think about this sibling, knowing she saw what she saw, knowing these people still have not taken responsibility for what they did, knowing there is no justice yet. Think about the fear she must be in and day out, not to mention everything she saw. The sibling that had to carry her to her bedroom. The sibling didn't know where the couple subsequently put Ariel, the document said. According to the complaint, is Ariel's older sister also told police, and God bless her, I mean, so brave. So brave. And you talk about all of us who speak up and give Ariel a voice. She was the one who really gave Ariel the voice. She was Ariel's champion. She told police that the Kaluas worked to get rid of the stuff, evidence, by coming up with a ruse that allowed Isaac Kalua to take weeks off work. As part of a series of lies, Isaac Kalua claimed to have COVID-19 and even sought medical attention. Yeah. He went in to go get medical attention and get his notes and all that so that he could then say, oh, I got to stay home right now because I've got COVID. When in reality, he was staying home to get rid of any evidence. He told police he was off August 20th and woke up feeling ill. Oh, yeah, I would feel very ill also that next morning if I discovered someone that I supposedly was caring for had passed away because of my behavior. I'd feel very ill. On August 21st, and went to an emergency room for treatment and was seen for possible COVID symptoms. He subsequently took about 2 weeks off. He knew at this time that, he can't go in there and just say, I have a migraine or something like that. I got to call out of work today because I got a migraine. He knew COVID would give him 2 weeks off because this was right after the major worst of the COVID lockdowns. That series of events is important because it was about that time that police believed that the couple disposed of Ariel's body. A few days later, Isaac, Sonny, went to Kaiser and pretended that he had COVID. The sibling told police, according to the court documents. The sibling stated that she knew Isaac was pretending because she knows that he took off work to, quote, help mom. When asked why Isaac would need to help mom, the sibling stated to get rid of stuff, evidence. In another disturbing allegation, the sibling told police Lehua Kalua bought the dog cage on the internet, even though the family did not have a dog. The sibling said Kalua got the cage because the 6-year-old would sneak around at night and want to eat because she was hungry. Guys, I'm not sharing the pictures right now because I'd have to pull them all up right now, but I will if I have to. But those of you who watched the story have seen where this girl went from chubby cheeks and all that to a ghost of herself. And she wanted to eat. So instead of buying food or giving her food that she could eat, they bought a dog cage. Don't need to worry about food disappearing if you lock them in a dog cage, I guess. The girl was hungry, the sibling said, because she was not being fed, which is easy to see in the pictures. So Lehua bought the cage to keep Ariel inside of it at night, the complaint said. The sibling added that she believes the duct tape came from Isaac's job. He couldn't even buy his own duct tape. He had to steal it from his job. Yeah. Meanwhile, the search for Ariel's remains continues at the family's Waimanalo. Well, it continues to this day, 9/13/2024. They executed a raid. Okay, the house has since been sold. There are many places where she is thought that she could be. And then we have the ocean on top of that. The Kaluas remain behind bars without bail, and it will stay that way. The two reported Ariel missing September 13th and claimed that they had last seen the girl the evening before. Lehua Kalua told officers that the family had had dinner together and that the girl had gone to bed. The adoptive mother also claimed that the 6-year-old had been going outside every day or every other day, and that she would say that she's waiting for her mom to come and get her. According to police, those were all lies. In addition to the ongoing police investigation, Ariel's death is certain to raise questions about the state's actions in placing her with the Kaluas. That's that article. These are the monsters. Let me pull up pictures of Ariel just to show you guys. For those of you who have not been here long enough to see the pictures of Ariel, she and so many other children deserve a voice. They deserve that voice. And that voice includes sharing pictures. Because a picture says so much more than words ever will. And here we go. This is one of the last happy photos of Ariel with her mom. Look at those chubby cheeks. Okay, look at the giggle on her face. Look at those eyes full of life. Look at this one. You can't even tell them it's the same child. You would think they're two different children, to be honest. If you look closely, you'll see the bruises in this one. You'll also notice, I don't know what else, how many times when they've got pictures of her, and even though everyone else is wearing shorts and stuff like that, she's got baggy clothes all over, and they've got a mask on her. So you can't even see anything on her face. Words speak thousands, pictures speak thousands of words. And this is where justice is going to come. January, hopefully, trial will actually happen. I am sitting here holding on to my Sleuth Mom notebook that I literally have held on to for this trial. It's almost become a joke at this point that I've had to hold on to that damn notebook for this long. But I'm holding on to it. And so this little girl, that's going to stay there. That was probably when I went to March for her, they gave me that. And it meant the world to me. But more than anything, it's something. So every time I talk, whoops, I don't know what happened there. Restream. Every time I talk, every time I go live, every time I share a new story about a child who the system has failed, I can't help but look at my computer and see her face over my shoulder. It'll sit there and it'll remind me. People have asked me, hey, why don't you put up your diamond paintings, things like that? And maybe the day will come, but right now, no. Justice for Ariel. Say her name. Scream her name from the top of the mountains. And 3 years is too long for no justice. For justice not even starting yet. At least be halfway through it. So, real quickly, before we do finish this up, I do want to share what the actual article that KK shared with me of this Amber Alert. So give me just a second to share it onto the screen real quick. By the way, those of you who've been sitting with me throughout this whole live, please let me know either in chat or privately later what you think about Restream. I'm trying to decide. I may not change it anytime soon, but I'm trying to figure out whether I switch it over. But here we go. Let me make sure I've got this shared. Yeah, but let me change my sides here so you guys have a bigger picture. Okay, this is Texas. Whoopsie, I just changed the page, didn't I? There we go. Texas Amber Alert issued for a missing 6-year-old boy from Ingram. Again, like I said, we don't know who this female is. They're different last names, so I'm not sure if she is related to him or not, or just happens to be someone he knows, or someone that they saw him with at that time. We don't know the full story yet. But have you seen Cameron Parrish? Texas issued an Amber Alert for Cameron Parrish, 6-year-old, who was last seen at 10:45 in the morning on Wednesday, September 11th, at 125 Brave Run in Ingram, Texas. I suspect that is a house. I do not know. Let me check real quickly. 125. What was the name of that? I'm going to see if it's a building or what. Brave Run. Okay, let's see. Brave Run, Ingram, Texas. Let's see what pops up. Brave Run looks like a neighborhood and everything. It's fairly close to a gas station, but looks like a neighborhood to me. He's a white male with brown hair, blue eyes, standing at 4'8" and weighing 55 pounds. The police department is also looking for Talea Graham. Graham is 32. As you see in this picture, she's a white female believed to be driving a Nissan Versa with Texas plates TLS 5425. She was also last seen in Ingram. They do believe he is, of course, Amber Alert requirement is that grave or immediate danger concern. So if you guys hear of any, here we go, his last, okay, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Here's a map here of where he was last seen. What was the time he was last seen again? 10:45 in the morning, so middle of the day, morning, so it wasn't on his way to school. I just noticed was right across the street from school. So looking at this closer, interesting. I wonder if he was being dropped off for school or something. The placement of the school pretty much right on the area where I don't know if it's that address or not. We can check that later, but that is very interesting there. When I pulled it up here, I could not see it earlier. So, okay, that's all that they have here. So hopefully, let me pull up his picture up here at the top. Hopefully we can get someone seeing something there. KK is saying that this Amber Alert for these two has been blowing up her phone. So hopefully we can share some information out on that. I'll let you know if I hear anything else. In the meantime, thank you guys. I know this was a long live. I know it kind of went a little longer than I normally do, but so many cases right now are just hitting down deep. KK, look at Messenger. They've added a second person. Okay, let me see. I don't want to pull your Messenger up, so let me see what I can find. Okay, thank you. Let me see what I've got here. Okay, let me switch this over. Another article here. Thank you, KK, for sharing this with me. So, here we go. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so according to this now, we have a second suspect. Okay, in addition, so we have so here, Talea Graham and Joseph Graham. So possible couple here, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. They added a second suspect on connection. That's this out here. Ingram officers identify the child as Cameron Parrish, 11:45, so right around lunchtime, actually. So the time kind of changed there. In addition to their initial search for Talea Graham, they've now added 39-year-old Joseph Graham to the search list. Parrish is 4'8" tall with brown hair, hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a two-tone gray t-shirt with blue sleeves, blue jeans, and dark shoes. Talea Graham is 5'3" with brown hair, green eyes, and Joseph Graham is 5 foot. So actually, both of them are on the shorter side, actually, 5'3", 5'5". Speaking as someone who's 5'5". Brown hair, brown eyes. The 39-year-old also has his name tattooed on the left side of his neck. His name is in black, and the outline of his name is in green. So green outlined black lettering. Ingram police said Talea Graham was last seen driving a silver 2014 Nissan Versa with a license plate TLS 5425. Police also said Friday that the vehicle has a small dent to its rear hatch, a line of 4 stickers splitting in the middle of the vehicle rear window, and a flag sticker on the far rear driver's side window. So some good information there. Still not saying the connection here, which is interesting that we don't have a more detailed connection. Interesting. I'll see what I can do on pulling some stuff together real quick. KK, you've been a huge help on pulling together what you've done already. Thank you so much on that. Keep an eye out on community tab for more information. And on that, I'll see if I could get, screenshots and all put together for that. So, but thank you guys so much. I did want to say a quick thank you to, I had Thea and I had real sweethearts who did some super stickers recently on some videos, and I really wanted to thank you guys for that. I've recently been trying to take posters of Mischa to like Comic-Con, Made in Hawaii, tomorrow's event. And I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of putting a lot of that money right now towards paper, printing ink, and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much. Hey, I definitely will, KK. You're the bomb. Thank you so much. So I will talk to all of you guys soon. Monday, I'll be back. Let me know if there's any cases you hear of that you think I should cover. Would you like to say goodbye, Cassie? Would you like to say goodbye? Oh, no, you just want kisses. I don't want kisses, though. Yes. Okay. I will go deal with this one right now who does want kisses. Yes, exactly. So thanks to all of you who came by and visited today. Thanks for those of you who sent me links. I really appreciate that, especially these Friday lives. I really appreciate that. So I will talk to you later. Aloha. Can you say mahalo? Mahalo.